Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I'm really excited to bring you from our friends at Paper Discovery this awesome collection. This is Bountiful Harvest. It's got stencils, it's got stamps, it's got cutting dies. Let's go through these really quickly. This is the Bountiful Harvest special die set, the Harvest Leaves die set. This one is bundled together with a stamp and dies. This was Harvest Elements, as well as the Harvest Elements stamp set. Then we've got the Bountiful Harvest veined leaves and sentiment stamps. And here we have got two stencils. This is the skeleton leaf stencil and this is the background leaf stencil. I can't wait to show you what my friend Debbie made with all of these wonderful goodies. So come play with us. So for this first project, I wanted to show you all of these dies. This is, of course, the Bountiful Harvest Leaves die set. And then this one is the Harvest Special die set. So it's got all these great pumpkins and gourds and even little jack-o'-lantern faces and mushrooms, and so cute. And this one's got all these different kinds of leaves and cute little bugs. So for your fall projects, these are just great tools. You'll use them for years. Okay, so I'm really impressed with this collection, and then I'm also really impressed with this fantastic project that Debbie made. Look at this amazing wreath. This wreath has some secrets. Okay, first of all, the base of it, let me turn this over like that. Debbie made, I go, what'd you use for the base? I couldn't even identify that. She used the 7-inch circle chipboard, and then she die cut the center piece out of it using our 12 circles and scallops. And yes, it will cut through. You just have to shim it up a little bit, and it cut through beautifully to make her wreath shape. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's so clever. And then she used the brand new Seasonal Splendor paper pack, which is, cardstock. Patterned cardstock, which is just amazing. It is brand new. Let me grab it here. Last couple of weeks I was calling it Autumn Splendor, which was its working title, but it is Seasonal Splendor. You get 2 of each of these beautiful papers. Okay, and then she also used the coordinating cardstock, which is so cool because it's got these colors on one side, and then you flip it and it's got different shades on the other, which is fantastic. And some fantastic glitter paper, cardstock rather. So we have got copper, champagne, brown, black, and then this one I always forget, I have to look it up. It's the red gold blend, okay? And she took all of these little leaves and she die cut them. So fantastic, look at these. Some solid ones. And then she inked the edges of these using evergreen ink for the just darker green parts. And then she also used wild mushroom, which is a very nice tan color around that. I think she might have also used some roasted coffee brown ink on there. Looks a little familiar anyway. So she made just tons and tons of leaves, cut out her little pumpkins, so cute. And then look at this. These have got little jack-o'-lanterns, okay? But Debbie was so clever. She put these little jack-o'-lantern faces on acetate. Just a sheet of acetate, which you can get by the sheet at Paper Wishes, so that she can put this up for Halloween. And then she also added this great little banner here that you can just tuck in amongst your leaves for Halloween, and then you can pull these out because they're not glued, they're just sort of kept in place by the other dies, which I thought was so clever. And you could keep this up for September and November. And then for November, she also made the little Happy Thanksgiving. I just think that is so clever and so versatile. For, of course, those little Dazzle stickers. This is Happy Every Holiday Dazzle Stickers collection. And it's got all of those holidays plus many more in all of these great different finishes. So yeah, spectacular wreath. And what she did was she started off by just laying down several of the leaves kind of going in these various directions, all heading sort of right, and then layered them all around this way. Okay, so you're just laying them all the way around and then tucking them in finally at this place right here. So like at your very end, you would just sort of lift them up. So you just really want to glue them kind of towards the base of the leaf and leaving this part free for tucking. Fantastic project. So for this next beautiful card that Debbie did, this is of course a slimline card, so it's 8.5 by 3.5 inches, very easily mailed. You can source these cards at Paper Wishes, and they come with those coordinating envelopes. And for this one, she used the Bountiful Harvest Skeleton Leaves stencil, as well as the Veined Leaves and Sentiments stamp set. Okay, so let's take a look at how she did this stencil, which I think is fantastic. So of course they've got the leaf shape, and which you stencil first, and then you go over the top of that with these great little veiny pieces here. For her background, she covered her card first in the red gold glitter set, and then just cut down a piece of white cardstock and sort of inked the edges around that with a little bit of tan ink. This is like a wild mushroom. And then she went ahead and stenciled her images first, stamped thankful, grateful, blessed, and then added some of these great little jewels. I showed you these yesterday, and these are fantastic. These are the jeweled mix. You open this up, and it's got all these little individual reusable containers, which keeps your colors nice and separate, and I just love this. I can't wait until it's empty and then I can put more things in it. All right, so let's see. First of all, you can use on your stencil, as it rolls into the camera here, Pixie Spray, which is great to spray on the back of your stencil. It's repositional, and that way, if you find that when you're stenciling, you get some sort of stuff under your stencil and it's kind of smeary, it's great for if you're stenciling things with a little bit more moisture in the product. But for today, I'm going to be using just a little bit of this hunky-dory low-tack tape. You can also use washi tape, anything that's low-tack that's not going to stick to your papers. So let's just stick that down there. And then of course, we've got to have some blender brushes, and we have two different collections. We've got a set of 3, which are a little larger, and then we've got this set of 4, which goes from like a medium size all the way down to the teeny tiny, which is fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use, I guess, this one. And for the 2 colors, we're going to do the green leaf here, this one. And Debbie started off with olive green, and then she did the veins and things with the evergreen. So let's start off first with the olive green. A little blotting here, and we're just gonna go in a nice little swirly motion. Really important to get the center with the most color. Go, because we are going to add the darker green around the outside edges. So I'm not even going to clean my brush here because I'm going from light green to dark green. If I was going from dark green to light green, I wouldn't want to like get any on my light green pad, so I'd have to clean this off. All right, and then you're just going to start with the outside edges. Like that, and then go down your stem. All right, now we're going to reposition our stencil. Just like this. And what's really nice is you can see through the stencil. Let's zoom in on this, Steve. So we can see through the stencil, and we know where we're applying those little veins. There we go. Now we're going to add some of that evergreen, that dark green color again. There we go. And what I should have done is masked off some of these other areas so I didn't get any on my card. So do as I say, not as I do. Is that how that goes? All right, so now clean off your brush so you don't get any green on your tan card that you're doing later. Just the worst. All right. So let's check out another one of Debbie's amazing cards. All right, for this one, Debbie used this stencil right here, the Bountiful Harvest background leaves, and she used the Seasonal Splendor cardstock for this one, and she used a couple of colors here just to do these background leaves, which is so pretty, Butterscotch and Wild Mushroom. I'm going to show you that in a moment. And then she stamped her little images here from, this is from the Harvest Elements stamp set. It's the one that comes with the coordinating die pieces, okay? And she stamped these using, here we go. This is alcohol-proof ink, and this is Pebble. And what's great about this is that this ink is not going to react with the alcohol markers. You always want to make sure that you've got the correct ink for that. It's a very lovely light brown. Let's work on the stencil, I think. And for these, I just wanted to show you these great little colors. Use a smaller stencil. Reuse my stencil tape here. And first of all, I think she repositioned it. Let me see if she did reposition it. Yep, she did it this way, and then she kind of repositioned it a second time to get sort of denser leaves there. So let's start off with the butterscotch. All right. Go. Just kind of randomly adding some color here. Like that. And then the wild mushroom. Ooh, this ink pad is seen better days. And you'll notice I'm not even kind of pouncing my ink pad to make sure that color is dispersed. I am just getting it right on there, getting lots of color. And we'll just do this last one. And then what you can do with this wild mushroom, you can kind of go back a little bit over the first ones you did for the butterscotch and just give those a little bit of a variant in color, just adding a little bit darker color over those edges. There we go. Oh, you can see I had some little leaking there. My ink pad, I think my brushes were wet. So that would have been a good reason to use our spray for sure. All right, let's clean those off. And then, let's see, I think we got everything on this one. Added this adorable purple crepe ribbon bow. And then for her last card, oh, this is amazing. Look at this one. Look at the sparkle on that. So for this card, Debbie used as her background, this is the glitter cards that we offer at Paper Wishes. You get 10 in a package. And this one's a really nice blue. She also created her background using these great shimmer shakers. And she used deep purple and tangy tangerine and denim dash for these. And we're going to try these out. She also used a little mister with some just plain water in it. And then once her background was done, she matted that, because she cut her paper down, she matted that with a little hammered gold paper. She also gold embossed some pumpkins from those stamp set. Little gold embossing powder. We want to get like a highly detailed, fine detail one. And then to stamp those, you really just need a nice wet, clear ink pad. I hadn't used Versamark in a while, which is really a great ink pad that we've had for quite a while around here. I dug that one out. And then there's also the Watermark translucent clear ink pad. These are both for heat embossing. And they are great to have. Okay, so she stamped those at the very end. Of course, making sure her background paper is just bone dry. Even maybe, you know, hit that with a heat gun before doing her embossing on that. So let's try this out. She used just plain white cardstock on hers. You can use watercolor paper as well. It gives it sort of a different texture. And here is our craft mat. And then, let's turn it this way so it stays flat. And then what's great about this is you take your little shimmer shakers and your little cardstock. And we're just going to open these all up, get them ready. They have little shakers that you're gonna do. The little tangerine. Okay, and she used a lot of blue. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to be really heavy-handed on this because Debbie tends to use a lot of color, and sometimes I'm like, oh, am I getting enough on here? Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spray this and see what we think about it, and then we're gonna add the tangerine. Get that really, really wet. Here we go. We're even gonna take like a tissue and just do a little blotting on that. Here we go. And then now we're gonna just do those orange here. Not gonna worry about the center so much because that's where we're gonna be covering those with those die images and the stamped greetings. Turn this little tissue over a little bit. It's like, here we go. I think I'm gonna get a little bit more water on here. And then Debbie likes to dry hers flat, even putting a sheet protector over it and then putting it under a nice book, especially if you're not using watercolor paper, and it's gonna dry nice and flat for you. Go. See how close I got. Pretty darn close. Her edges have a little less on those four corners. She kind of concentrated the center. All right, so while I'm cleaning this up, I'm going to tell you guys about the money saver that we have on this great collection from Paper Discovery. It's got everything you're going to need for your fall projects. It is amazing. Really a great sort of what I would call a toolbox collection, just something you're going to have for years and years. It's going to be a staple that you're going to bring out every year for your fall cards, your Halloween cards. Which is great. That's a great investment. There we go. All right. So I'm going to bring these projects back in. There we go. So if you are watching us on our Webisode page, our bundle is right off to the right. Below that is a gallery that you can watch our previous videos from. And then, of course, our archive rather. And then below our video is our gallery. And we also have the products used list where you can just look at all the products that we used individually if you want to know what the sprayer was or what the Pixie spray was. Those are all listed there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we haven't forgotten about you. Just check below the video. You'll see a link to the description box. In the description box, you'll see a link to our Paper Wishes webisode page where you'll find everything I just mentioned. Also, if you like this video, consider giving us a thumbs up. It helps people find us, and subscribe. We do like 3 to 5 of these videos a week, and you don't want to miss anything. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.